Well, while there's 34 shopping days left until Christmas, that's it, 34, and 41 until the new year, there's also 178 days until Georgia's statewide primary, and the electoral calendar just never stops. You know, it just keeps going. That's why we bring in this guy. Each Friday, we bring in Zach Merchant, co-host of the Georgia Vote. He has all the answers politically, folks. That's why we bring him in. He's a smart guy. All right, it's been a week since the shutdown, as we know, and you've talked to the Democratic party chair of Georgia, and what are they talking about?
Well, you know, there's another date, another number. You said there's a 30-something days until Christmas.
Yeah.
That's a big number to keep track of. Another number is 43. 43-day-long government shutdown that we're just on the back end of. It's been about a week since that shutdown wrapped up. Record-setting, longest in American history. We talked with Charlie Bailey. He's the chair of the Democratic Party of Georgia throughout the shutdown. This was the first time we sat down with him after the shutdown. Got about a week of hindsight. And we asked him, was it worth it? You know, Democrats, throughout the shutdown, they really made this issue of Affordable Care Act subsidies and extending them. They're currently set to expire at the end of the year if they're not adjusted. Democrats made extending those ACA subsidies their core issue throughout the shutdown. But then this group of 8 breakaway moderate Democrats in the Senate cut a deal with Republicans that opened the door, we know this story, to reopen the government. That deal did not include a guarantee that those subsidies would be extended. I asked Charlie Bailey about it. I said, hey, after all this, you look back on it, was it worth it? In his view, he said, yes. He said, I think, I want to paraphrase, but he said, if it wasn't for Democrats to stand up and make this fight, nobody else was going to. Republicans would push back on that, but that was Bailey's kind of hindsight view on this.
Wow. All right, so in 2026, we got some high-profile elections coming up. What are the Democrats saying or thinking about those elections?
Well, you know, you use this gesture a little bit. They have to get their hands around a really big primary field. There's 6 or 7 major, serious Democratic contenders just in the gubernatorial primary and the governor's race. A big field of contenders. On one hand, you know, for voters, it's a big win because you're going to have a lot of choices, right? For candidates, probably a win too. Whoever emerges, they're going to be sharper, they're going to be more battle tested. But it can also be a situation where you have people inside the party butting heads a little bit because they're trying to win that primary race. I asked Charlie Bailey, you know, how do you manage that? And what do you expect the winning candidates to have as their priorities, their plans, their ideas, and the idea that kept coming up again and again and again was this focus on affordability. Remember we talked about the PSC race, the Public Service Commission race. We've had this conversation at this desk. Those 2 Democrats who ran in the PSC race, they really tried to tack as close as possible to the issue of affordability. They proved a winner. They won by something like 20+ points, flipped 2 incumbent seats. Democrats, according to Charlie Bailey, you know, he expects them to stick with that message. And truthfully, Republicans are probably going to lean into the affordability message as well. And it's a bit of a shift from, if you remember where the Democratic Party messaging was 4 or 5 years ago, in 2020, there was a much greater focus on social issues, issues of identity, race, sexual orientation, and we asked Bailey, you know, I said, this seems like a different kind of messaging, and he said, you know, there's no, he used the phrase, there's no bat signal that goes out and everybody kind of starts singing for a different hymnal. And he said those issues are still important. But affordability is where they're putting their focus.
I got about 30 seconds left. How much will AI play a role in 2026?
Ask me this question in a week, and I bet the answer is even more than my answer would be today. It continues to grow, continues to evolve. We reported on this Representative Mike Collins' campaign. He had that AI and a deep fake image of Senator John Ossoff come out. You can expect that that's likely not going to be the last. Particularly, we talk about this primary dynamic, and this is a good place to end, when primaries start to heat up and they get more competitive, and it stops being, hey, let me introduce you to myself as a candidate, and more, let me tell you why my opponent is wrong for you and I'm the right person for you. Those tensions ratchet up, the friction ratchets up, and you may see those AI videos start to come out too.
You know who'll be all over it? Zach Merchant.
But not with AI. No deep fake here.
He's real. He's real. All right, you can catch the Georgia Vote with Zach Merchant and Faith Jesse Sunday morning at 11 o'clock right here on 11 Live Plus. Zach, thanks so much. Really appreciate it.